Hello guys and welcome to another video. Today we are taking a look at how to level up all of the skills you can see here to level 100. And like basically the fastest ways to do it. So I've got timestamps in the description below if you're looking for a specific skill. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay guys, so first off we got the armor. And to level armor you're gonna use your repair hammer, and you're gonna repair various gear like armor or weapons and that kind of stuff. The way to do this fast, I would suggest, is to go around in in a dungeon or something, find a bunch of enemies, and then you just let them hit you for a while. For example, right now I'm in the memorial cave, and as you can see there's like a bunch of people hitting me at once. So you let them hit you, maybe you equip some healing spell. You don't let them kill you, of course. It's best to have like an easy difficulty, so you know they can hit you a lot without causing too much damage. But basically after we've done this for a while, you're gonna want to open your inventory. And you're gonna find your repair hammer. Oh well, I guess you're gonna have to kill them after you're done with them. So let me just quickly do that. Alright, and then you're just gonna go inside your inventory as I said. I'm gonna pick up your repair hammer, and you can see I only let him hit me for like a brief minute or so, and as you can see our armor and stuff took quite a bit of damage already. Now the beautiful part with wearing like better armor like Imperial, Umbra, that kind of stuff is it's gonna cost like and take way more to repair, so you're gonna gonna get more levels out of it and more XP basically. So you just do that, and then you just go around, find more enemies to cause you damage and repair your gear. As you can see, I did level up this time. And another thing you could do is when you kill enemies, you can check their inventory and take the stuff that you damaged, which was on them. Like for example, we got a few damaged items from this enemy. Then again, you take your repair hammer, you repair this stuff, and then if you don't need it, you just drop it, and then you continue on. So that's how you repair, how you level. I forgot the name. That's how you level armor. Alright, let's move on to athletics next. Alright, for athletics we are gonna come to Anvil near this boat, and this is actually gonna be an AFK method because that's the fastest and easiest ways to do it. What you will need is some sort of item which allows you to breathe underwater. Personally, I'm using the Jewel of Remare, which you can get by completing the quest Go Fish, which you can start right here, and there's gonna be a fisherman who's gonna have you kill fishes around in the lake, and after you collect their scales you're gonna get this ring, and then you can use this ring to breathe underwater. And you see athletics gets most XP when you're swimming, so you're gonna come to this boat, get under the rudder here, and you're gonna use the let's check the keybind real quick. What is it? System keybind. So you're gonna use the auto move key. Now you want to position yourself under the rudder, and then you're gonna press this key, and you kind of want to position yourself correctly because you see if he's moving, there you go. So while auto moving you want to position your character that he's kind of stuck under the rudder, and you see he's constantly paddling with his hands, which will be giving us AFK athletics XP. Now if he is like this, you see just slowly moving his hands, now that's not gonna work. You're not gonna get the XP. You want to ensure that he's paddling like in a strong motion, but this might take some well basically some positioning to get it, because I have trouble with it sometimes as well. As you can see, I can't get it now. Well, I'm not gonna waste any more of your time, but that's basically what you do. You saw me do that, it works. Ooh, lag spike. Alright guys, next up let's move on to Blade. Alright guys, so now let's talk about Blade and Blunt. I'm putting them in the same category because you level them the same way. So what you want to do is, for Blade you're gonna want to equip a Blade weapon, and for Blunt of course a Blunt weapon. If you don't know or not sure what kind of weapon is, you just select a weapon and you do show details, and it's gonna show you right here whether it's a blade or a blunt. So for this you will want to fight a bunch of enemies. Basically that's all you gotta do. So you wanna go where a lot of enemies are. Of course you can go to various to various dungeons and stuff to kill people, but there's you know, they take some time to respawn, and there's a finite amount of them. So I would just suggest going to the arena and fighting here, because you will also be making some money while you fight. So again, depending on what weapon, you know, you want to use, blunt or blade, you just go here and do that. So yeah guys, that's really all there is to it. It's pretty simple, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, I guess just a quick extra note I would like to add regarding the blade and blunt. If you do go to arena, you know, you're gonna need some patience running back and forth until you get tougher opponents. So I mean, if you prefer, I guess you can just go around to dungeons and that kind of stuff, because there's plenty of them, to be honest, around the world. Just teleport to one, clear it out, go to another one, etc, etc. But yeah, basically guys, there's really not much to say about blunt and blade. So again, let's move on. Alright guys, moving on to hand to hand. This is very straightforward and kind of similar to blunt or blade. You just want to go around and punch people, right? But there's a quick little nifty trick I want to show you. If you walk around near the arena, you will find these two guys kind of throwing hands and fighting each other. If you watch them for about a minute and a half or so, you will actually get a 5-point skill increase in your hand to hand. So make sure to do that, because I mean, why not? Extra points. Now again, to level the skill, you will just want to find fights and use your fist to fight. This can be in the arena, out in the world, or in various dungeons. Well, I wouldn't just suggest looking out in the world, you won't find that many enemies. Rather do dungeons and the arena. Alright guys, let's move on. Alright, so I'm gonna be pairing light armor, heavy armor, and block together, because I like to level them together. Well, basically you choose whether it's light armor or heavy armor you're leveling, and basically you receive that XP for just, you know, receiving damage while wearing that armor and basically getting hit. And block, you of course receive XP by, you know, blocking damage. So when you have either light or heavy armor, I would suggest going over here to the Haunted Mine, which is near Leowin and near Breville. And then you can just follow me along where to go in these mines to find the spot we're looking for. There's gonna be a bunch of rats in the pit, and we're gonna use them to level these things. Now, at first, you're gonna want to stick to the left of this dungeon. And of course, there's gonna be enemies around here. But yeah, you basically wanna stick to the left, and then you're gonna pass through a door, and then you're gonna want to stick to the right. So you can just follow me along here. So yeah guys, when you are in this room, there will be like 6 rats I believe in this pit. So you just want to jump in within the pit with them. And again, depending on the armor you have, you're gonna be leveling that armor as they're hitting you. And then you just wanna keep blocking, you know. And like that's literally all you do. You just kind of make sure you wanna, you know, make yourself stand in such an area that most of these rats can keep hitting you. And then you just do this for a while, and I've earned quite a bit of, you know, block and heavy light armor XP doing this. As you can see, I increased my heavy armor right now. And you might want to either lower the difficulty so you don't lose health as fast, or you might want to, yeah, you're gonna contract some illnesses, so bring some mandrake roots or something. Yeah, or you might want to, you know, bring some health potions just in case. But as you can see, you're not blocking all of her hits, so you might need to change up positions. Because you only block the hit when, you know, you hear the shield being hit. That's when you successfully block a hit. But alright guys, this is basically how you level those 3. And I mean, I'm sure there are other areas in the map where you can find a lot of enemies who attack you at once. Again, increase the heavy armor as you can see. And I increased the block, so this is quite a fast method. But yeah, after you're done here, let's say you want to come back later, you can just, you know, jump the fence and you can come back later and the rats will still be there. Or of course we will respawn later after like I believe 3 days. Alright, let's move on. Alright guys, so leveling alchemy is next, and this is very simple, very straightforward, and honestly super fast. So all you're gonna need is if we look in potions, all you're gonna need is a novice mortar and pestle, which you can find at any potion shop. And general goods might also have those, not entirely sure. But yeah, and then you want to come to one of these farms that are all around the map. So you can just look at some locations over here. And there's really like, they're all over the map, you know. So you want to look for like these kind of symbols. And then you come to these farms and then you just basically collect whatever they have. You know, this is not counted as stealing. Guards will not chase you, no one's gonna get mad. This is just free for your taking. And also it grows back every 3 days. So you can keep on doing this, and I've been doing it for a while. It's also a very great way to make money, because you basically collect all of this stuff and then you make potions out of it, which is super fast, just spam click. And then you just go and sell all those potions. So I'm not gonna collect everything, just for demonstration purposes it's gonna be enough. So what you want to do now is go into your inventory, press on your mortar and pestle, and then you can apply a filter, because all of these things, what they do is they restore fatigue. You don't have to, but yeah, and then you just have to place 2 items which, you know, have a same effect. On the bottom you can see all 3 of those items restore fatigue. These are the items we just gathered. So then you just combine 2 of them. When you're level 100, 1 is enough. And as you can see, it's gonna make a potion to restore fatigue on yourself. And then you just spam create. And you just do this, do this, do this, do this. And here we already leveled up. And yeah, that is, as you can see in the top left, top right, we leveled up our alchemy. And basically you just want to go around the whole world, go to these farms, collect as much stuff as you can, craft a bunch of potions, and don't forget to sell them. Alright, let's move on. Alright guys, next up we have Alteration. This is very simple to level. Pay no mind that it's low level for me. First of all, you're gonna want to come to Mystic Emporium or another magic shop and purchase the Protect spell. And then all you just want to do is just spam the spell while you're doing other stuff, while you're moving around. As you can see, I already increased my Alteration level. I'm pretty sure that later you can get like better protection spells, and then you just want to do the same and spam them. And you just keep doing this. A little tip, if you run out of magicka, you can wait 1 hour real quick, and once the waiting is done, you have full magicka again, and you just keep doing this. And keep doing this over and over again. I am pretty sure that you can somehow, you know, set up some sort of key binding or like macro to, you know, use up the magicka so many times and then wait and kinda AFK this. Alright guys, let's move on. Alright, next up we have Conjuration, and this is basically to conjure up various allies to fight for you and that kind of stuff. Now to level this is very similar to Alteration. You're gonna come to the same Mystic Emporium I just showed you, and you're gonna buy a what's it called? Summon Skeleton spell. And unfortunately my skill level is too low, so I can't do this, and I'm sorry about that, but basically you're just gonna want to equip this spell, and you're gonna, you know, want to spam it just the same as you did with Alteration. I'm not entirely sure what skill level you need for this, but you see I haven't been leveling my intellect and that kind of stuff, so that's probably the issue why. Alright guys, moving on. Alright guys, let's talk about Destruction. So, Destruction are the spells that inflict damage to the enemy. If you look on a spell, it will say if it's a Destruction spell. So all you basically want to do is equip a Destruction spell, and then, you know, cast it at an enemy. Now you do have to hit an enemy for it to work. If you just spam it around, that's not gonna do it. So let's just find an enemy here real quick. And I see one right there. So basically, when you cast these spells at an enemy, as you can see, I already increased my Destruction. Again, I haven't been doing much magic on this character, but for starters, it's gonna be simple to level up. And again, you might want to go to the either arena or to various dungeons and that kind of stuff to level it up. Alright guys, let's move on. Alright guys, moving on to Illusion. For this I would suggest buying a Starlight spell, which you can again purchase from the vendors of various spells in the market district, as I showed you in the previous sections of the video. And then when you have it equipped, this is again a spammable spell. Oops, wrong button. So you just, the spell actually lights up the area, but again you see I already increased my illusion, so you want to run around and spam it. And again, those spammable ones are very easy, because you know, you can just be running around, jumping at the same time to increase my acrobatics, and just spamming it. Again guys, if you're out of magicka, you just wait for 1 hour, and then you start spamming again. When you're out, you wait for an hour, and you start spamming again. Alright guys, moving on to Mysticism. This is again another skill which you can spam. What you will need is a minor detection spell. As you can see, it says it's Mysticism. And then, again, you can buy it in the trade district from the vendors who sell magic. And again, you're just gonna run around and spam the spell. It's actually a detect enemy spell, which will basically show you through walls in the surrounding area if there's any NPCs, enemies there. I don't think it shows friendly NPCs anyways. Yeah, it doesn't, because there's a deer running away. But yeah, and then again, if you're out of magicka, you just... Ooh, I have enemies nearby, but if you're out of magicka, you just wait for 1 hour, your magicka gets refilled, you rinse and repeat, and let's move forward. Hey guys, guess what? We got another spammable spell. We are looking at Restoration, and for Restoration you want to spam heal minor wounds, and I don't think I need to explain this anymore. You just go around and spam it, and that is gonna increase your level. And as always, if you're out of magicka, you do, well, I have enemies nearby still, but you do T, you do wait 1 hour, magicka gets refilled, and then you keep spamming it. Alright guys, I hope that's the last spamming skill we're gonna look through, so let's move on. Okay guys, I am pretty sure we're done with clickable spells. We are now looking, spammable spells, we are now looking at Acrobatics, which basically increases how high you can jump and how much fall damage you take. So to level this up, it's actually straightforward. When you're running around the world, exploring, you just want to keep jumping around. The more fatigue you have, stamina, the more you can do this. Also, if you want to do this quicker, you can jump from higher spots, take some fall damage. It will increase your level even faster. Quick little tip here for you guys. If you want to kind of auto-spam this, and go AFK, you can actually, just set up an auto-jump, like auto-presser or something to jump. But what you can actually do is go under the bridge here, kind of, squeeze in there, and then you can just spam your space. You spam it, as you can see I already increased it. Then you just wait for a bit until the fatigue, resets. Then you spam it. Alright guys, it's really not much to it. You just kind of have to grind this one out, and like I've gotten into a habit of, just jumping around wherever I go. But this skill is important, so, less fall damage is always good, but you will also, where is it? You'll also unlock dodge when you reach level 25. So yeah, just work at it. And let's move on. Okay guys, we're looking at Marksman, and this is also one of those, kind of simple battling things where you either want to go to the arena, or you want to go to the, as you can see I already increased it, or you want to go to various dungeons, and just instead of using blades or, I don't know, fists, you just use your bow, and that's gonna level it up, and that's what you want to do. Alright guys, really simple and not much to say about this one, so let us move on. Alright guys, let's move on, and there's a lot of talking around me happening, and we're gonna take a look at Mercantile. So this is basically leveled by selling stuff. Now, where I would suggest to sell stuff is the Merchant's Inn, which is right here in the market district, opposite to the statue. So you go into Merchant's Inn, but you're not gonna talk to the guy behind the counter. There's gonna be like a green guy. He's this guy right here. He's kind of one of my go-to guys to sell stuff, and basically the more money, or like the more expensive items you sell, the more money you get, the more XP you get. So what I would suggest doing is using the method I showed when we were talking about Alchemy, and basically collecting stuff like from farms, and then making those, where are we? I made a bunch. Where are we? There we go. And making these restore fatigue potions. You see he has 2,000 on him, so he can buy a lot, and then just selling them to him. So, and you see I already leveled up. So basically just go to those farms around town. Not all have like the gardens, but basically go to those farms. Like this one has a big garden. Collect all the stuff, craft potions, level up your alchemy, come by here to this Merchant's Inn and sell the stuff to this green guy. and you will level up this no problem. Well, it won't be super fast, but bit by bit. Alright guys, let's move on. Alright guys, taking a look at security, this is basically leveled by pick locking or lock picking, but there's actually a very easy exploit so you can level this quickly. So you just want to come up to somewhere where you're gonna lock pick, and you're gonna set one tumbler in place, and then you just keep pressing set tumbler, and you can just spam it and it will give you XP, and you can basically keep doing this. You heard the dun 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 sound, so that means I leveled up. And you can just keep on doing this until you reach level 100, no problem, easy as that, as you can see. But if you actually want to do this, you know, legit, I've got a little trick for you, which will make lockpicking way easier. I have another video on that, but I'll quickly just run through it. And I would suggest getting the skeleton key or the unbreakable lockpick, so you don't have to worry about breaking it. And then, basically, when you raise the tumbler and it falls down, the speed at which it will fall will change. So you see it's very slow now. If we let it to hit the bottom, the speed might change. Maybe it's just an easy lock, so the speeds are kind of the same, but basically some locks have, especially harder locks, have tumblers which move very fast, so you want to keep, you know, pushing them up until you get a very slow one, and then just do that. But it looks like this is a pretty easy lock, so we don't have a problem with that here. I didn't want to enter here. I hope I'm not gonna get into trouble. Let's get out. Let's get out. Alright, so yeah, but if you want, just use the exploit and you'll get security to 100 in absolutely no time. And let's move on. Alright, sneak is another one which has one of those exploits which make it super simple. So we want to go to Breville, Castle Breville right here. After you teleport, you turn around and you're gonna go to the shack up here, through the stairs. And basically the idea is if you lockpick someone, I mean pickpocket, and then exit the screen, whoops, and then pickpocket again, and then exit the screen, you will be getting pickpocketing XP. And there are these scuba, well, some drink addicts. And basically you can pickpocket them as much as you want and we won't care. Don't do this to this lady here because she will go call the guards. And I don't see the addicts. Where are they? They're usually here. Let me wait for a few hours. Alright, so I saw them walking around town earlier but didn't want to attempt it in town. Even if they don't care, the guards might. But basically these three guys right here, these two and this guy, you can just go up to them, pickpocket. He said he's gonna say take it, I don't care, and then you just spam this. You just do this as much as you want, and that will actually give you better XP than just sneaking. So again, just one of those spammy ways. You see, this guy doesn't care, this guy doesn't care. Like I said, just don't do it to her, cause she does care. I just wanted to get a level up to show you that this actually, yeah, there we go. Sneak increased to 56. Alright, let's get on with it. Alright guys, and last but not least we have the Speechcraft, which is just gonna require you, I haven't done this much as you can see, low level. It's just gonna require you to play the persuading minigame with players. And this one has max disposition. You want to find one which doesn't have max disposition and do this with them. Okay guys, so when you're playing the persuasion minigame, you want to look at the facial expressions of a character. You see, so for example, Joke, he's smiling, so he likes it. This he doesn't like as much, this he also doesn't like. Boasting, he's neutral. So what you want to do is you want to aim for like these, you know, bars. So as many bars as you can in the good and as little as you can in the bad. So for example, we start with Joke. Now this is decent and this 4 bars, so we do that. That's +5. Now this is bad, so we're not gonna press this one because it's 4. But actually you want to keep, you know, you want to keep doing this, so let's just minus, and then he likes this one again. And for some reason I can't press it now. Okay, the game is over, but anyways, you want to keep going with the game, you know, kinda adding and, well, you know, subtracting the disposition. And basically just keep going with it until you kinda, until you know, you level up this thing as much as you can.
You can't scare me.
So yeah guys, that's pretty much how it works. Now the only option I have is Admire, which he doesn't really like.
Don't try to manipulate me.
And yeah, I did level up the level, but as you can see, my disposition with him got lowered. It's a bit of a tricky, you know, mini game, so you gotta practice it a bit. But yeah guys, this is how you level up Speechcraft. Alright guys, so with all that being said and done, I returned to my favorite place in the entire map of Oblivion. It's just kind of nostalgic for me from my childhood, and it's just so peaceful here. So anyways, guys, that's how you level all of his skills. That's what you need to do and how to do it. Of course, again, I do have like timestamps for each and every one of those in the description. Now, please keep in mind that a lot of them you can kind of do at the same time. For example, you can jump around while spamming magic spells. You know, you can automate some of them using macros that like casts the spells for you and that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is how you do it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop a like, leave a comment, maybe you have more suggestions, maybe you have a better way to level something up, so please leave that in the comments if you have any questions. Also, I will be sure to respond to them. Otherwise, I hope to see you in the next video. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Alright guys, alright, see ya.